Well, we could talk about uh, the gutting of the Voting Rights Act a little bit, and the gerrymander battle that's happening across the country.
Definitely both pretty front of mind things. I mean, as much as I've been trying to disconnect, like I was also talking about those exact issues at work today. So,
but this recent Supreme Court decision basically gutting the Voting Rights Act and changing the game, the rules of the game for redistricting, and kicking off. I mean, God, Virginia, which definitely we'll talk about that, but Tennessee, Texas, South Carolina, just to name a few. Of course, California has been doing their thing. It's there's a lot of there are a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of nuances, such as like Tennessee legislators, for example, playing dumb when talking about breaking up Memphis and breaking up.
You see Justin Jones burning the Confederate flag in the Tennessee State House?
Fuck yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And man, it really is so true how much we need to let Sherman do his thing, man. Sherman needed to finish. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Like there's like we should
never dealt with these deep-seated traumas and like we have to exercise these demons, or
or they will kill us.
Yeah,
they will end us. And
it's that whole just fucking ridiculous American exceptionalism idea, or fucking whatever you want to call it. Like that is inherently harmful. It keeps you from reflecting on your own shared history and all these other things in a meaningful way. Like you can't learn the lessons of the past if all you ever do is just like block the past and pardon me.
Well, so I think you could actually kind of draw, so like looking broad notes at today, broad notes historically. And you can see the through line to today, to the getting of the Voting Rights Act, to breaking up Memphis and pretending like, I mean, I don't know how many black people are in these districts. It's fine. I mean, I didn't do this for racial reasons. It was purely political. It was purely political, which is funny because in a lot of ways you can't separate the two, especially when you're talking about the black vote specifically, that clearly has predominantly gone in one specific direction. I mean, you can't ignore the history of who black people have classically been voting for.
Now they can ignore that.
They can definitely ignore that. That's true. I guess now they fucking can. But like, it's so blatant to anybody else that anybody from the outside that's looking at it.
There is no way you can look at the population numbers in these places and think that the way that their representation is skewed is in any way fair. It's impossible.
Yeah.
There's no possible way to come to the conclusion that even though 30 whatever percent of the demographic falls into, or the population falls into this demographic, they somehow end up with zero representation,
or even in an area where they are clearly the majority.
Yeah,
where they are the racial,
not just like statewide,
but
totals,
even
it's you're basically saying that 35, 40, whatever percent of the population doesn't deserve any representation that actually represents them.
Well, here's the thing, Travis, is they don't see color.
Oh, yeah.
And so if Republicans don't see color and they can finally move past race, wouldn't Democrats finally be able to move past race? Isn't it about time that the Democrats stopped being so racist and accepted the fact that a black person can be well represented by a white person?
Stephen Colbert was so ahead of this.
Fucking
Colbert report shit is exactly the
I don't see race. In fact, I haven't seen any colors at all.
They tell me I'm white, and I believe them because when a police officer addresses me, he says, "Good evening, sir."
Oh god. Yeah, that's that. Boy, that hits all the right notes. But I wanted to say definitely you could see this the through line historically where you've got an acquiescence to the idea of letting Confederates into back into politics at the after the Civil War ends.
Mhm. And claiming it's for healing and for the good of the nation.
But it's for the interests that still aligned between the people that had all the money and power. They still want to do trade. They still want to do business. So you still get a seat at the table because we're going to still do business with you, even though we've literally killed. I mean, did you have a son? Because he's gone. Did you have 4 sons? 3 of them at least are gone. Like the crazy numbers of people in this war.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna let you back to the table. It's fine. You don't have to really lose politically.
Yeah.
In 20 years' time, it's like the shit didn't even fucking happen, especially as Reconstruction just turns to shit and you still have slavery just by other names. And kind of harkening back to talk about it for a minute there, the police showing up and doing kind of different work. Instead of catching the slaves, they're enforcing contractual agreements for slaves that have signed a piece of paper now under duress, basically every time. So you have this conciliatory nature by what should be the popular victors in this country. We won the war about slavery.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the people that were on the side of the winning side should be overwhelmingly the winners politically. Fast forward to today, and you have a Democratic Party that rolls over to try to acquiesce to the McCains of the world, that try to acquiesce to these tiny percentages of fringe little voters, and they allow people like the most virulent people, like not even Mitt Romney, who I fucking think is a piece of shit for a million different reasons, but legitimately letting Ted Cruz exist, not bludgeoning him over the head in the middle of Congress at some point. But seriously,
make people getting it's insane. It boggles the fucking mind.
But it's this conciliatory nature of the Democratic Party where they allow for things like in Virginia. Essentially, they allow for things like in Virginia where you have Republicans all over the country are gerrymandering even against judicial order in some cases. And in Virginia, they have a long, drawn out, multi-year process about redistricting that ends up being a voted on referendum by the people, where they vote affirmatively to redistrict. And the Virginia Supreme Court says, yeah, you violated our state constitution. You can't do that. And they're just the response to it at a federal party level has been to kind of just be like, win some, you lose some. That really sucks for us. Better get out there and vote.
Yeah. Playing the lovable punching bag.
Getting beat about the head and neck for sure, and just kind of
Jar Jar Binks in it out there.
Ooh, just as racist too.
Yeah.
But it's kind of incredible to watch, like that see that through line historically, and the similarity of who loses here the most. People of color, like again. Like
time after time, man. Like history sure as shit rhymes. Like, and like one of those things that it's shockingly unknown historically because we never dealt with these demons. But like the whole Tulsa massacre, like it was on the Watchmen, the series that came out. Started it tied that into the plot. I'm not going to get into all of that, but anyway, it sort of awoken the general consciousness a little bit to this whole idea. Like so many people had absolutely no knowledge about it whatsoever. I honestly didn't know that much about it. Like when I read about the show and heard that, I was like, "Shit, that sounds familiar," but like, need to brush my memory about what exactly happened. And it was fucking worse than I even remember. Like I remember that something bad went down, but like something I learned a long time ago and kind of half-ass forgot, you know.
Yeah.
But just an insane, insane moment in our history. Vile. Like air bombing our own fucking citizens and like just horror show shit going on. And we've never had any reckoning with it. There's never been any, I mean, nothing. There's no, like,
yeah, like virtually
completely swept under the rug and ignored. And
I mean, I don't even think that under the mandates of this current administration, you could even teach that.
Yeah.
That's DEI. Yeah. You can't, that's like,
yeah, sure.
And it's anti-American. You can't talk about bad things that the country does because that's bad. That's a naughty thing. You're not allowed.
Man, it's the difference between nationalism and patriotism in action. Like,
yes.
Right fucking there.
Yeah.
And that's why those with fucking disingenuous intent or just fucking lazy ethics and morals that don't care anymore beyond a slogan, like that's why that shit fucking flourishes. Because we're just fucking largely lazy and want to take a nice, easy explanation. Because, like, looking at this complicated thing, warts and all, is difficult and complicated. It takes maturity. Like, but just like unfailingly loving this thing because it is what it is simple and childish. It's like the way a child loves its mommy. Like anything that mommy does or is good and right, and anything that attacks that is evil and bad.
What was the quote from The Crow? Mother is the name of God on the lips of all children. Like, which, you know, it's The Crow, so it's a bit over the top, but I think it
makes a good point. Oh, I was kind of like Al Franken talked about that a lot in I forget which book it is, but like he put it that way, and I thought that was a really kind of succinct way to put that. Like it's a very just simplistic and naive way to look at something when you want to actually have any growth from it or learn anything about it or whatever. You have to look at it in a introspective, warts and all kind of way, in a mature,
critical way. Like maybe some sort of critical race,
idea or notion,
consideration, theory.
Oh,
is that? Nah, that's gross.
No, that doesn't sound
turned off.
That doesn't know.
That sounds like reverse racism.
That sounds woke.
That's
woke as hell.
Extra woke. That's the wokest. No, actually, directly in line with what you're saying there, as far as just like this sort of laziness in the taking stock of like our history and all that and acting upon it. I think the whole reason why we're even having a gerrymandering fight, like if you look at the margins that certain ideas win by in referendums and that parties win by across the country, the parties are close even when one loses. Even what is often called a landslide is like, when you think about it, it's like, well,
60-40 split.
Yeah, 60-40 split. It's like, well, that's still 40% of the people that you weren't able to convince to vote for you, which is meaningful, but yeah, sure, you win. And I think that part of why the gerrymandering fight is so effective for Republicans and not for Democrats is that Democrats have often been this party of capitulation, of rolling over a bit, and they have
It's rule following to a fault.
Sure.
Like trying to be the adults in the room or whatever.
right, trying to play by the
maintaining the integrity of the system is
Yeah.
their be all end all. Like,
yeah, even when the system is
flawed,
broken,
or leading to everyone's demise,
or being weaponized against. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. But I think there's also just like a failure of, excuse me, a failure of meaningful direction that isn't just a like shallow opposition.
Yeah.
And you can see
that's what the voters have been saying for fucking ever. Like, fucking don't just be the anti this. Fucking
have an idea.
Show us what you.
That's why Obama won. That's the reason why we had the first black president, is because of an effective vision that he could sell. He had something for people to actually chew on.
Yeah.
Like,
this is what we want to accomplish. This is our guiding principle here, and everything we do is going to ideally be trying to move towards that.
Right. How effective he was in delivering that, we can quibble about until the fucking cows come home. But certainly, when you're talking about 2008, leading up to the election, Barack Obama had a meaningful stack of things we're going to be doing. And we affected, like, a mobilization to actually try to affect those ends. And so much of the Democratic Party since has definitely been just like, yeah, but those guys are like really bad. And Kamala Harris, listen, I know she's a cop and she like actually really sucks a lot in interviews. Like, she can be a nice enough person and probably will not do horribly detrimental things to our country, and maybe might levy some tacit resistance to Israel doing whatever the fuck it wants to do at all times. Maybe, kinda, but like they can't sell that. There's nothing to chew on there. There's no there. So if you want to win around gerrymandering, you need to win big. And if you want to win big, you have to do something monumental. And the only thing that actually comes to my mind is the New Deal. And thinking about creating it's literally Bernie
Work Projects Administration.
It's Bernie Sanders presidential bids. Yeah. It's literally basically his campaign directive. It's just like a modern New Deal is what is required. And it's interesting how Bernie Sanders, as an example, does poll very well across partisan lines.
Because those ideas poll well across partisan lines, but people are just so conditioned and misinformed about
what's
things. But people would know communism if it did them all the ass.
Well, I mean, the Mamdani Act is proof of that, right? Chipperoy's bit of fun. But it's interesting to think about the idea of, like, you got millionaires that are democratically paid advisors, that strategists, their whole thing is, we're going to win this next election. And they eschew Bernie Sanders' messaging and his ideas and that approach at every step of the way, even though if you want to talk about something that would politically win, we're seeing it politically win now. I mean, we saw it politically win in New York. It made like Mamdani's campaign in New York made a mockery of the capitalist status quo. Yeah, I mean, just full stop. It just made a fucking mockery of it.
Yeah,
and
that one girl, she did make it a cat.
Is it Abigzela? I forget exactly how to pronounce her last name.
Yeah, it's wonky, but man, like, the fact that she even like had a really close finish was impressive.
Even to even be able to show up with that kind of messaging.
Yeah.
And like Graham Plattner right now as well.
Oh man, that guy's catching some
He's
lightning in the ball.
Really fucking turning on the heat. And so that kind of messaging is winning. So what is the point of somebody like Hakeem Jeffries? What is the point of Chuck?
What is the point of the party establishment if it's working against the interest of the party?
And if it's not going to follow its fiduciary duty to increase shareholder value, if they're not going to go through with trying to elect people that will actually to push people forward that will actually win elections.
Yes. If you're not doing that, what are you doing?
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Exactly. 100%.
The only other logical conclusion is that you're purposefully being a fucking doormat.
I mean, these people are making a ton of money in the Trump administration, even while they're also saying at the same time, this is horrible and terrible and Trump's the worst guy ever. Because they agree on a lot of things, like Israel, for example, they want to maintain the AIPAC money and that they don't want to rock the boat in that regard.
You mean our own money that we send to Israel that they send a little bit back to?
Yes.
But so then we send more and then they send a little bit back too, and we send it.
Yes. Yeah, that cash. That
our money that Israel gives back to us sometimes.
Yes. Well, they give it back to us consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just to very specific people.
Yes, and to influence our politics.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Deeply, and hopefully not irrevocably.
Man, the tide's turning, it seems like.
It does seem like it.
Really seems like the tide's turning.
I think that's the one positive to take away from all of this with the gerrymandering and honestly even a kind of feckless Democratic Party is that while these institutions are being eroded and while these established organizations like the Democratic Party don't seem to be consistently showing up, people still are.
Yeah.
There are still a lot of people and people fucking turncoating away from the Trump administration because, I mean, when you see $5 a gallon gas, when it costs you more to get to work, then you're going to make it work because the minimum wage hasn't been increased in fucking decades.
Yeah. Well, and it's finally going to start affecting a lot of the people that voted for him and put him in power. The young male demographic that now it's finally starting to hit them in the pocketbook a little bit and starting to be problematic. There's starting to be a little bit of buyer's remorse.
Well, it's not like it's not like that cohort is economically doing well at all statistically when you've got so many people that have had to stay in the workforce longer at the top end of the experience scale and things like that because they can't afford to retire. There's and with just jobs being constrained, the job market being constrained from the economy, and also this incessant push for AI. Way too fucking early.
My God, slow down with the fucking data centers. Also, Jesus Christ, everybody, slow down fucking making images with AI for no other reason than you're bored. And
if you're not
fueling data centers,
if you're not in the government, I don't want to see you making AI videos.
Yeah, it better be that fucking quality or shut the fuck.
We're derailed. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, my core thought at the end of all this is all the people that are actually acting, are actually doing things, are actually trying to pressure the Democratic Party. I think the focus needs to be to think big.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be to look at bold action, bold statements, and not just unfortunately, some bold statements like defund the police can be weaponized against you. But if you come prepared to support that with an actual plan for what it means to start that process.
Yeah, sell what that actually means.
Yeah.
Like that's the biggest part of that. Like you came hard with that slogan, and then there's just nothing there to back it up. So of course,
Mhm.
the other side is going to demonize that as much as possible, and the narrative becomes what they're saying it is more than what it actually means.
Well, and it's such a
Mhm.
hack fucking derailment, and they use it for like the No Kings protests. Even they're like,
Yeah.
okay, well, it's the United States. We have a president. We don't have a king. What are you even protesting for? It's like,
Yeah.
what are your specific demands? Like, it's such a complete fucking distraction,
Yeah.
really.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, the only way to combat it is to say, like, maybe not even defund the police. It's this is the first step of defunding the police. That's what our slogan is. We
Mm-hmm.
want this in our cities. We want this money put this place, or we want these community workers to be doing this task instead, or
Yeah.
whatever
And
the
here's
approach needs to be.
how one that saves you tax dollars. That
Mhm.
you're utilizing resources a lot more effectively.
Mhm.
And I mean, like, that's huge. Just show people the math. Like give us some basic rundowns on what this means.
Mhm.
How well that can change things structurally, like what that can potentially do for the homelessness epidemic, which is huge. Like, because there are a
Yes.
lot of issues that like are really um, pretty intrinsically tied together, and when you start helping with things like that, like
Mhm.
you create that like snowball effect, kind of in the good direction, though. Like
Right. Yeah. You have exactly. You have to snowball that momentum, and that the support will snowball on its own as long as you show up with actual functional bold ideas.
yeah,
Not just bold statements, not just kneeling with a kente cloth, but
yeah,
being able to say, like,
hard
we're
fucking
gonna
lines,
do this
like
thing. This is what, this is the core, our core promise, our, like our core operating principle.
yeah.
Republicans did it with the big beautiful bill. I mean, they, like, Donald Trump basically ran on everything that's in that bill.
Yeah, but again, that's a layer or five too complicated for what most people want to invest in that.
Well, but that's the thing. He didn't have to. He didn't even have to sell it with any of the nuances in that. He just had to say, we're going to reduce. We're going to reduce your taxes.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
The oversimplification of it that they sold does not match the reality of what it's
sure,
actually
yeah,
is.
absolutely. Yeah, they reduced some people's taxes.
Sure.
Some people definitely got a tax break,
Yeah, yeah,
but I think you can definitely. I don't know. You can. I mean, again, you've got people that you pay millions of dollars to strategize these things. People that don't have, I don't know, a full time job doing something else, for example, that
yeah.
might not be able to come up in this exact moment with what that slogan could be. But surely you could say, if our goal is going to be universal healthcare, I mean, just that on its own would sell. But if the goal
Yeah.
is
Here's what those numbers are.
expanding Obamacare and acknowledging a failure in it, which is an individual mandate without a universal public option, basically,
Yeah.
and a much more accessible public
Mhm.
option, free, ideally.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like, you could very easily turn that into a statement that is potent and powerful, and that's it. Like, and that on its own, like, the material benefit that would give to so many people, and that's what Bernie Sanders has run on, and his messaging is all about, is
Yeah.
direct material benefit.
Yeah. This will mean you're paying less
Mhm.
in general, like
Mhm.
almost like you're paying less for better product that also everybody gets to have that like a subset of people don't get at all.
Mhm.
One, everybody gets it now. 2, it's generally statistically as good or better.
Mhm.
And 3, it's significantly cheaper. Like,
Mhm.
and like you can do the math on that. Like you can give people the broad strokes of exactly what that looks like.
You can give them the broad strokes of what it looks like for their average like yearly benefit. Like there's people have math degrees for a reason. Let's use it. Let them use it.
There's a lot of statisticians out there that we could put on this task.
Exactly, but also you could introduce other ideas like that are tertiary benefits that will still resonate with people, especially in this specific time. Universal healthcare for people will probably help save this fucking bludgeon medical industry.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's
Like,
things aren't looking positive long term. Like,
and when you're talking about winning over rural voters, which are slowly but surely
underserved typically, or amongst the most underserved,
and are seeing their hospitals close and shit like that.
Absolutely,
over the last
they're historically the most underserved, and they're losing what service they do have in many places.
And there's so many of those things. It's all you can also tie it to in a moment of like a town hall or a debate or whatever. You can also tie it back to opposition of the Republican agenda by saying, well, we want to fix these things which are intrinsically like deeply affected by the big beautiful bill, by this bill that passed without a single Democratic vote, with JD Vance breaking the tie. You can say immediately, like, opposition wants to erode your access to healthcare through these means.
Yeah.
Here's how we're going to not just reverse that, but work to improve away from we're not going to take it to the status quo. We're going to make it better than it was.
Yeah, taking the big bold initiative like that too, and having the stats right, being able to back that up, coming with some receipts, definitely puts the other party on the back foot. Like, you can lay out for people what this will mean for them pretty generally, the benefit that this is going to give. Now, like, the other side has to argue why that's a bad thing.
Right.
Now they're in the position of having to explain why the status quo or this other thing is somehow better for anyone other than this tiny subset of people that makes a shitload of money.
And if they voted for the bill before, they also have to defend what they've already done.
Yeah.
Like it sets them so, and also when you consider too that we've seen what happens to like Pam Bondi, for example. People that are close to the Trump administration, people that capitulate to the Trump administration or work directly for it, how they behave when they get cornered, how they behave when they corner themselves, and as well, and as the Trump administration keeps rolling along, as this cult of personality, this cult of sycophancy, even keeps rolling along. If you want to get money from the party that Donald Trump controls in order to help you, win your election or to help campaign, you need to bend the knee. And the more people that bend the knee and have been, tossed aside, or bend the knee and won and then left and are now like retiring, and the more those are the more like rational actors in a crew. You're getting more deranged people to step up next.
100%.
You're getting Marjorie Taylor Greene, but on more methamphetamines. And so
again, it's like the Habsburg. This whole process is getting inbred here.
Exactly. And so when you start to show up with receipts and you have a bold agenda that provides a material benefit to voters, and you state your case and you hand the mic over to the other guy, what's he going to do but fucking shit on the microphone and knock over the chess pieces?
Not look like a villain opposing that. Like,
well, and they so often get in this like righteous indignation, which I think is really starting to wear thin, even on the some of the truer believers, even
Yeah.
some of the grifting believers. This like righteous indignation is really, I think, starting to play its way out. It's like a cultural fad. It's like a fad in another 2 years.
um, yeah, yeah.
Like Erica Kirk, I think, has pretty much killed righteous indignation as a weapon.
Yeah,
politically.
right. Like, oh. Yeah, because she is just not pulling it off, man.
no, she cannot sell it, man.
It's that has been very, very heartening to see the whole Charlie Kirk and now her just failing horribly. Like, the more exposure they get and the ideology gets, the worse for them it is. I feel like.
Well, and it's also, you've got in the downfall of TPUSA and Erica Kirk shit in the bed. You've got Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro in there and some other like right wing kind of YouTube figures, and it's so funny because they are spending so much time fighting each other.
Yeah, the infighting is incredible.
It's incredible, and I think that Ben Shapiro's he laid off a bunch of his staff recently. His viewing numbers tanking over the last few years, but really dropping off a lot recently. Some of it is because I think of like obvious stuff, awareness of Israel, whatever. I've saw a lot of people have been talking about this already on YouTube for sure. Majority report actually spent a lot of time talking about this. And did some really good coverage of just they consistently look at these kind of failing and flailing right wing figures. And so like Ben Shapiro's unapologetic pro-Zionist stance is not playing well for his audience.
Yeah.
But I think also just
position to defend these days,
right? But I think also just that they're just bitching at each other so much. I can't imagine actually tuning in to try to get like meaningful political analysis from somebody that can't stop whinging about fucking Candace Owens.
All it is like a fucking gossip rag now.
Yes, exactly. And in that swirling miasma of shit, you've got Erica Kirk, who oscillates between like psychotically staring at the camera and psychotically crying at the camera. just like I said, ruining righteous indignation as a tool for the right. Like it's not even,
man. Like I think most people can see through her fairly well. Like just blatant psychopath. Like it doesn't take a lot to notice that there's
the way she behaves on camera. Betrays a lot of the conspiracy theories about her being like some sort of Mossad agent that helped take down Charlie Kirk in the first place. Because like none of them would be this bad. Like Gal Gadot doesn't act this bad. Like it's bad.
Yeah. Just fucking weird too. Like
creepy.
Yeah, I mean, like bad is one thing, but like choices too. Like bad and dumb. Like
bad and dumb.
Yeah.
Like
real strong overlap. That's
scathing criticism from Phileas Birds. Erica Kirk is bad and dumb.
Heard it here first, people. Eric Kirk is bad and dumb, and I don't like it.
And you know what? She's a poopy head.
Yeah. Thank you. I was going to say the exact same thing. The words right out of my mouth.
I heard she eats dirt.
I believe it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's so much like with that crew of people on the right, they're just eating themselves. What's left to beat are the fascist oligarchs and the people that were, and not just people that are diehard MAGAs, but also people like
the ones that are using MAGA. Like those are the ones I'm scared of.
The tech bros. the tech bros got to go, man. The Zuckerbergs and all these people that will play both sides and do it so shamelessly, and they don't give a fuck.
Heel and Sachs and
Teal's maybe the worst of them.
Probably, yeah. Like, because that guy is, God, it's hard not to see him having some sort of fucking like evil villain Lex Luthor sort of machination.
I mean, without Peter Thiel, I don't know that we have Trump 2.0.
Yeah.
And we certainly don't have JD Vance.
No.
You know?
I mean, Vance is just fucking meat puppet. Like,
exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah. He's got his hand so firmly up his ass.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's so Thiel's probably the worst of these guys. But I mean, when you think about like the damage being done by somebody like Jeff Bezos, who will use his money so callously, will allow his name to be at the head of a company that abuses its workers so horrifically, and will normalize that. Like it normalizes this shit. The damage done by somebody like that, and somebody like Peter Thiel. I mean, it's like which is worse, double murder or triple murder? Well, triple murder is technically worse, but like neither one of these things are good. Like,
after a certain threshold, bad is bad.
Exactly. Yeah. And but yeah, these guys gotta like, because like Donald Trump talked shit on all these tech bros about them being socialist, communist, leftists, even though they're the richest people in the fucking world or whatever.
Yeah, right.
And now they're basically part of the administration. Like they're an arm.
Like this is very purposeful. I was just listening to a story directly about this on NPR the other day, and it's specifically David Sachs that made this happen, because they're very much the whole tech world existed in this more socially liberal environment. Still extremely rich and like in lower taxes and all, but it was that very kind of like just posh sort of wealth that tends towards a more liberal mindset. So, and which obviously kind of is a conflict with MAGA and where that wants to go. And Sachs was instrumental in bridging that divide. And bringing those worlds together, bringing on Zuckerberg and Bezos and all of them.
Shudder-worthy names.
Right?
Like just thinking about any two of these people, like thinking about the idea of like Sam Altman's in the same room as Jeff Bezos. Like, how could there not just be horrifying things happening in that room, being discussed in that room? Like these are deeply, frighteningly powerful people
that will slash something like USAID without thinking twice about it. Other than how much this is going to increase my bottom line.
Never mind how many people,
minuscule way.
No, never mind how many people die because we've lost some of our ability to support global contact tracing for like hantavirus, for example.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know if that's a salient example. I don't know if that's timely at all. I don't think that's in the news. Just, I mean,
all this institutional knowledge and shit that we're just shipping out the door. Biting us in the ass again.
Us in the ass again, man. Just at every level, whether it's my job, whether it's the federal government, and it's global outreach, and at every step of the way, the shitification. It spreads like a fucking cancer, man. I mean, it really does. Like,
yeah, and it's been going that way for I think longer than people realize. Like a lot of like just the planned obsolescence and the deteriorating quality and value of just most of the things that you as a consumer buy is some one of those things that like the pot boils so slow that pros usually don't notice, but like it almost feels like in a lot of ways it's hitting turning points where it gets just more and more noticeable, especially as inflationary factors hit. So costs are going up at a much higher rate while the enshittification is still trucking along. Like
it's not hitting a
it's
exponential.
It's exponential the other way.
We're hitting the enshittification singularity.
Man, you just coined that term right there. I heard it here first.
Yeah, I think
I think that enshittification singularity gets us to officially being an idiocracy.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. I mean, it's really because like it's an overplayed joke that that Idiocracy is a documentary. But like, what is the difference? Like, I think the only difference between Camacho and Trump,
he had good intent,
is the biceps. And
I mean, the biceps were ripped. Like
the good intent,
Trump's, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, Trump's just got like
have you not seen the images?
It's an insane physical specimen.
The golf swing on this guy.
I mean, he can almost hit a putt from 6 feet.
The reason why he has to like cheat and drop a new ball all the time instead of digging through the woods for wherever he might have hit one is because the ball that he hit was actually just obliterated. It was atomized.
Yeah.
On impact.
Yeah, there's didn't even withstand the.
There's nothing to find. Yeah. So he's just gonna, you know what?
They give him a drop down there.
I'm gonna play it from the rough. I'm gonna give you guys one. I'll play it from out here on the fringe a little bit. You know, it's never mind that I actually hit it a county over the left.
Yeah.
Like my early disc golf drives.
Absolutely. Like current ones. Yeah. How many discs have lost because they've just lost sight of them? Like it's gone. And it's got to be 1,000 yards away by now.
I've been flicking, so when I lose one now, I've got a really good, clear shot of actually where it's going. Like,
that's handy.
Yeah, it helps. If not, I've been pulling off the back ends. But yeah, no, this consistent enshittification. It's the same. It's sort of like what we were talking about with the Democratic Party in general. It's this acquiescence. It's this capitulation to a new, slightly shittier normal, as long as it maintains
kind of the next fiscal quarter. Every little slice of that enshittification is just fueling the growth of the stock value and shareholder profit.
The stock value goes up. We can leverage more out of this. We can buy something or invest in something and then make it go up the next quarter. And it's this constant like binge and purge kind of fiscal attitude that exists in private companies as well as oftentimes in our
when we set up this fiscal attitude that unchained growth is the only way that the business can be economically even viable. What's wrong with like having just a nice growth curve where like you grow at a pace with everything and you're profitable and you make a product?
We laud it. There's actually
longevity, and
there's one avenue that we laud that kind of behavior, that we actually celebrate it. Food. You're a restaurant that's been around for 50 years doing the same fucking thing every fucking day, and it's consistent and good, and you haven't fucking changed it because people come in and like it, and you've kept your prices low, whatever. You're beloved. People love that. You don't get negative judgment because you didn't add a new triple decker smash burger with melted cheese poured over the top and whatever the fuck to your menu to keep up with the times, quote unquote, and to increase shareholder value, quote unquote, right? Like you've just kept consistently providing something that people want and will show up for and will appreciate at a nice value.
Dog.
What's that?
A Costco dog.
Yes. I mean that one's interesting. It's sort of like a strategic loss leader.
Yeah, very
but
much so.
so but yeah, I mean, basically, yeah, like it's that basic idea. Like you just show up and do something well. Don't go bankrupt and don't bankrupt us. That should be enough. Like that should
That's
be.
the ethos of the Arizona tea guy. A while, he's basically said something to the effect of like everything's paid for, like all the machinery, everything. Like there's no new expenses. We turn a profit. You know what? Like why? I'm not gonna make things more expensive for my consumer. I'm not gonna like things are getting more expensive for everybody everywhere. So why do I need? Why do I need to go make their drink more expensive?
Right.
Because I don't need to. Like
Right. Exactly.
we're making a perfectly good living just chugging along here. Like
Exactly. And what's funny is is that is actually on its own. That is basic fiscal conservatism.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're maintaining your long term viability. You're not going outside of your means. You're not deriving from your core mission. Like,
you're not like suddenly taking left turns into risky ventures.
Yeah.
You experiment with a new flavor.
Yeah. Oh, that didn't work.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we put these in bottles instead of cans for a little while or something. Like it's like nothing crazy. Like you just do. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with a mousetrap industry, or I mean, like, yeah, you want to fuel innovation and shit too, like, but there's nothing wrong with like things just working in a steady way that provides back into the company and the workforce and yada yada.
It's interesting how when you get to a certain point of these massive businesses that don't work that way, that want to basically squeeze every single penny they can out of their labor force, out of their consumers, every step of the way, maximize their profits. There's very clearly some sort of mental illness involved. I mean, I'm like, there's some.
Didn't Elon say he wants to be like a 10 trillionaire or something now? Like
$10 trillion or bust. That's, I mean, and it's pathological.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the people that fanboy that shit are even more oddly pathological.
Some of the deeply frightening people on the planet.
Yeah.
Which is kind of saying something, actually, considering how many frightening people there are. But it's also just like there's this many people that are basically, at the end of the day, sociopathic.
Yeah,
in their callous disregard of other humans in order to enrich themselves, and their callous disregard for even like institutions, whatever, to enrich themselves.
No, they owe no allegiance to a country. They see themselves as above and beyond.
Well, and it creates an environment that gatekeeps anybody that doesn't have a similar pathology.
Yeah,
from succeeding at all. Because if you aren't willing to stab your fucking neighbor to get ahead, then what the fuck? Like you're
gonna lose to somebody.
You're gonna lose to somebody who is. So like it creates it's sort of like an Ouroboros, but the Ouroboros keeps getting smaller and smaller just by little bits all the time. It keeps eating a little bit more of itself and it's regrowing.
Yeah, there's an operational cost that's slowly winnowing away. Yeah.
In shitification singularity. I need to think about that a little bit more.
Yeah. We can work with that.
We can work with that. We just change the name of the podcast.
Sweet. Let's do it.
Well, Travis, do you have anything you want to leave us with for the evening in this environment,
in shitified universe where it doesn't have to be. Nothing that we're experiencing is preordained or set in stone or divine in any way. we all have the power to change this. Like, so that's positive. I mean, like, things might be dire at the moment, but we still have the power to move the needle in the right direction. And the evil forces that are in power aren't always going to be, unless we let them. So it's positive. We still have the power, but we have to seize that.
Yeah. Agreed.
With bold messages and things that really will fucking resonate for people and be meaningful. Like, show people the money, bring receipts, show people, and just like, yeah, like there's a positive road out of it. We just need a little bit of traction going towards it.
I agree. I agree with all that, especially just the first notion there. This is not written in stone. This is not preordained. And to any extent that it might have been by anybody, they're going to be right half the time, anyways, and only half the time. They're as Carlin said, I don't pray to God, I pray to Joe Pesci. And my prayers are being answered about the same rate by Joe Pesci as they were by God, 50-50. And but no, I think that the functional way to approach all this as a person that's not a Democratic Party operative, that's not a strategist or a person running for office or anything like that, is to act small and think and speak big. Think and speak big is like we've been talking about, big, bold ideas. We want universal health care. We want the fucking minimum wage fucking raised in this country. We want to see,
like, these are evil things. Like, don't acquiesce to that. Don't be afraid to take the position that universal health care is good and like supporting it is in everybody's best interest. Like, it's not something that you have to be scared of or run from.
Right. Exactly.
The support is there. Like,
and
fellow man is with you.
And just being willing to say that, to stake that claim, helps. Even if you're not the particular kind of person to like call your legislator, which I think people should be trying to do more often. I think there's actually a lot of benefit that can come from that, even if all you're doing is tying up the line for some jackass and making his life hell. I think that, speaking and dreaming and thinking big is really important, but acting small is what's also hugely important. Because the only thing you can really do on the big thoughts and the big dreams and the big motivation is show up and vote. That's the only thing you can really do for that, besides speaking your mind on it and supporting other people that are speaking to those ends and raising that awareness.
Yeah.
But the acting small part is also, you can't, there are studies that show that you can't take somebody that, basically proves the axiom, the idea that you can't and basically guide somebody. You can't logic somebody out from a position that they got to from ignorance.
Yeah.
And you can't
logic someone out of a position they didn't logic themselves into.
Exactly. And you can't necessarily persuade people just on argument. Yeah. You
have to appeal to emotion too.
You have to but you also have to earn their trust. And when you've earned somebody's trust, it's much easier to introduce things like numbers, things that people are scared of, because it starts to get into murky, specific waters and whatever. And people just don't have the time to be.
Well, that's where the charismatic kind of comes in, because it's easier. People tend to trust someone that's charismatic.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
you have to earn their trust. And what better way to earn the trust of people that aren't hostile, but maybe don't think politically the same way that you do, than being a part of their community as well. Showing up as a neighbor, showing up, whatever, and just being so, like, acting small. The way that it doesn't mean acting without intention. It's not just doing a bunch of mindless things. The intention is to close the personal gaps
Yeah.
between us, that break the system of atomization that separates us and that helps fascistic movements actually thrive. And creating a more communal environment, even if it's not communal because of some like communal work on a common project or taxation or whatever the fuck, right? Communal just in there's a reasonable closeness and a healthy conversation.
Yeah.
That creating that kind of trust in your local environment is so potent. So maintaining content, it's all stuff that has to do with not watching the news also, which is really convenient, I think, for a lot of people's mental health.
Yeah.
Connect with your neighbors, reconnect with your friends, reconnect with your families, people that can get lost so easily in this fucked up time. Bridge those gaps. And that's where meaningful conversation and stuff can come from when you're talking about creating a sort of grassroots effort to oppose what is legitimately birthed fascism in our government.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's taking form in ways that we can deal with and speak out and speak to one another about locally. The fact that so many of our police forces are aggressively
Oystered and
and like combining forces with ICE to add to their agenda. Like we can break up that cycle in a localized way, and that's what it's going to take. It's going to take thousands upon thousands upon thousands of localized efforts.
Yeah,
as much as it's going to take the single guided big picture effort as well. Like you have to play on both fronts, and you have to win on both fronts. Like
yeah. You can't shy away from. Yeah. You can't just like walk away from things that almost sound kitschy in a way, like this connect with your neighbors sort of mentality. You can't just throw that idea away because that is legitimately like that not only directly combats the sort of fear mongering that is at the heart of the propaganda that has been spread by Fox News and Newsmax and the Trump administration. It directly opposes that, but it is the only way you're going to have an inroad with somebody that has been disagreeing with you is by having personal
connection. You gain trust.
Yeah,
like that's how that breaks down racism, is because it's hard to hold this animistic view towards someone that you know as a person. Like that's why the best cure for those sort of mentalities is traveling amongst other people, or it's like having that exposure. Like
yeah.
So yeah, that breaks down a lot.
Yeah. So I don't know. Man, I really just like that emphasis that you did put at first, though, on this is not preordained. Like, I really think that's important for people to keep in mind, is that legitimately at any point, so much of this could just change in an instant, and it might not. Even if it does change, even if like tomorrow the entire Trump administration just like poof disappeared out of this plane of existence. Not everything is,
but that's a beginning.
That's a beginning, exactly. It's not the end of the work.
You don't pack it up and go home at that point. Like
and you have to keep moving forward with that kind of optimism in mind. That this isn't preordained. That we have agency here and act on that agency. And if you don't, then you're just leaving room for somebody else to come in. Exactly.
Yeah. I think we about covered it there.
I think that sums it up, man. I think that sums it up pretty well.
Stay safe out there, y'all.